To get started, you just need to go to this platform.openai. So today we will go through the first one. How can you handle feedback? How can you use tools? How can you use memory? I will show you how to orchestrate these agents through today. I told you GPTs is the best way to learn because with GPTs, OpenAI also released another thing called GPTs. With GPTs, you can build custom GPTs and release them. Agent is great. We can do user research, but how about multi-agent, which can do some orchestration too? That would be cool, right? If we can do some orchestration. Tools allow you to change the state of the world. The state of the world right now is that I have file and I can use that file. And the state of the world is that I want to change the state of the world that on my drive, I want to save a file. So that's how simply publishing works. We'll talk about publishing. Now you have a work ID that you can pass and you can also use it in your code. Today is a cool session because we're going to do a lot of hands-on stuff. By the way, I'm Mahesh. Again, if you're just joining, all of you can see my screen with slide deck. Today, we will be talking about OpenAI Agent Builder. If you don't know me again, this is me. This is my LinkedIn profile. Just scan this and then invite. We also have a community where we send you a weekly update on what to read because you get overwhelmed with so many information out there. So what we are doing for the community is we are getting overwhelmed. We are finding the best information and we send you weekly update on what to read, what to learn, and if you're looking for jobs, where the jobs are too. So what is the agenda today? We're gonna talk about what are AI agents and their essentials, like what if you need to build an agent, what are the essentials things that you will need to build them. Then we will go and look at agentic AI builder. We'll go behind the scenes, like if you want to build a tool like what OpenAI released, what you think behind the scenes. Then we will discuss what agent should you build in a noisy world like ours. We will build something that can do user or market research and then write PRD. So all of you can go chill or lose your jobs. In this process, I will show you the tool capabilities, like how can you take feedback from the tool, how to use tools, how to use memory, how to use knowledge, evaluation, and guardrails. This is divided into two because I realized that it's very hard for me to land all these things in one. So today we will go through the first one. How can you handle feedback? How can you use tools? How can you use memory? I will show you how to orchestrate these agents through today. But knowledge, evaluation, and guardrails we will discuss next Friday. This is what I did in 2023. I built this agents for Bedrock in Amazon. I was hired to do this because I was working before this and figuring out how to use large language models. And this is the first thing I get to do in Bedrock. We released the first agent framework before OpenAI released it in 2023. We released it in July. And then I think first time OpenAI actually said agents was in December or November on their dev day. What I learned through this is that it's the models are very capable, but actually making them useful for agents or actually making it useful for production or anybody's custom use cases is a hard problem to solve. Why is it hard? First, you need tools. Second, you need to handle memory. And third, the orchestration piece at that time was very hard. Giving you an example, we could not connect more than 5 tools. So if I wanted it to do web search, call an API, write some code, show things, that's pretty much it. If I added the sixth one, it just confused to call which tool. So that was the state. By the way, after building this, I also at least wrote the PRD and then I left. I will not take credit for this one. Somebody else did it. I wrote the PRD though. And this is Amazon way of saying, when we did this, we said, okay, this is for developers. There was an SDK. You write API code. If you want to build it, you should know how to code. Means there was a UI, but the UI is very limited. But mostly it's for developers. While the flow component was drag and drop, how can you? And this is also, again, 2024, we were working on this. 2023, they were working, and 2024, somebody released it. We wrote the PRDs and everything in 2023, December. And the idea is that, hey, how can you drag and drop things on a canvas and build something on Amazon so that it's easy to deploy these We did not integrated agents at that time because it was just not ready and all that, but now it's integrated. Why I'm telling you these stories? Because both of them actually never kind of worked, just because they were not easy and it's hard to build those. And third, the models were not capable. That brings me to my life today, which is I just tried last week iterating on Agent Builder from OpenAI, and I found it very good. And I thought our community should know that this tool is on our disposal now. And I thought all of you should be able to try it, build it, build with it. So I thought, let's do it. So what should we build? So the developers are building agent for PMs. PMs are building agents for devs. And then some other companies, people who have no clue, are building agents for lawyers, sales agents, and everybody else. So I thought, let's change it for our community and at least build something that we can use. So this is the first time we are doing it, by the way, because I was like you. I said it's almost impossible to build something for PMs, but I want to change that little bit, at least get the first draft. So today we will build a agent which will do user research, market research. Taking these inputs, we'll be able to create a PRD or two-pager in Amazon PR fact style, which is a press release, frequently asked questions. And we will give you homework, but that will be two sessions. So today we will just hopefully can reach till market research, and this section we will do next time. Okay, but that's what we are building. Before further ado, let's just get started. To get started, you just need to go to this platform.openai. One thing I will make you beware of is that it's not cheap. I loved and I gave you all, like if you did the cohort, I told you GPTs is the best way to learn, because with GPTs, OpenAI also released another thing called GPTs. With GPTs, you can build custom GPTs and release them, and there's no cost to you. It's within $20 that you pay GPT, and then you can use as many as you can create as many as GPTs, and you can launch them and people can use it, and it's all free. It's not true for Agent Builder. Agent Builder, you will need to provide your API, and your API is getting charged, and you are getting charged for every call you make. Not OpenAI. There is no like static pricing. So be aware of that. You will see my conscious effort all along today to make it. So to make it, when I build it, I will try to make it as cheap as possible, and I will make those tweaks. But letting you know that if you try it, there will be cost to it, and you will need an API. We have shared that before. It's very simple to get an API. You just need to go get to same link, go to billing, make sure I'm just checking how much credit. Oh, I have a lot left. Great. And then you can buy your API keys by going here. And I think you just get a button here if this credit is gone. So go to billing and make sure this is positive, not negative. You can add more credit. I just add $10, but you can add more. That's pretty much all a prerequisite for us to get to what we want to build today. Okay, if you have done that prerequisite, then you come here. This is the first time you will see a ability to create your own agents or a flow of agent. If I have to get started, I will get started first. You say create. They give you some templates also, but I just start without a template. There is start. On left hand side, you will see these are the core elements. These are the tools they give you. This is the logic, and there is data. This is the function that allows you to set variables. This is logic. You can do if else, user approval. We will use these two today. We will use this one today. I'm trying to use one of each. We'll use this one today, and we will use all three of these. So at least you know what these are, and we will continue to build. So very simple. It's a simple process. You just come in, you can just say start, you can delete this and say start, drag and drop. Once you have start, you can just drag your agent to here and connect them. And your agent is ready. That's pretty much you need to do. You can tell what this agent needs to do. We will discuss the ad context later. But let's say you want to do user research. So you should have a prompt for user research. I have a prompt for you, by the way. I think only thing if you can learn, if you don't want to build anything, maybe you can just take my prompts. They're really cool and do use them. I think the main crux here is just my prompts. So what is this? So you write your prompt, you can just write a simple line saying, hey, do user research. but I wrote a really good one because I was doing it for you. Otherwise, I would have written like, "Hey, do user research." That's it. But I did role, goal. I gave an example. By the way, end of this session, I will share your GitHub link where all these prompts and all these instructions are. So don't worry. Just watch. This is anybody tell me what is this? What's the word? What are they trying to do here? Include chat history.
Memory.
Memory.
Memory. Great. And what if I turn it off? What will happen?
It
It
can't
will use
remember
current session.
conversations.
So if I ask a question, will anything change if I turn it off? If I ask a single question, do I need to turn it on and off? That's the question. So I think we are ready. We can just go to preview and we can say, these days I'm doing user research on commercial real estate. I think, as I told you, I'm not building agents for product managers. I'm building for analysts in commercial real estate. So user research, do user research. This is market research, right? Market research, commercial real estate opportunities for AI agents. Great. All of you, first agent done. You call it, the agent works. I just made it cheap. Did I made it cheap? I changed the model, right? So this is how it works. I will just stop it so that we can continue. But the agent is ready. I can close preview. I can go back to my agent and I change the model. GPT-5 Pro is the most costly model. Anything Pro, stay away from it. This is good enough. If things are not working, go here. But if you just want to do a demo, start with Mini or Nano because these are the cheapest one. This is the model for coding. They also give you older models. Let's not worry about them. So that's pretty much it. All of us can create agents. We are so cool. Everybody good? Agent is great. We can do user research. But how about multi-agent, which can do some orchestration too, right? That would be cool, right? If we can do some orchestration. So let's delete it. Let's add another agent and let's call this agent as our market research agent. So this does market research. Awesome agent does market research. But what if you want to do user research also? So I just copy paste. I did Control C. I did Control V. I got another agent. I will put it here. I will call it user research. So now I need to do user research. So let me get my user research prompt. First, configure the orchestration agent with following prompt. Okay, before this, before I go, somebody keep reminding me. Do I need a agent to decide which agent to call now? So I got one more agent. I will call it orchestration agent. Can I call that orchestration agent? And I have a prompt for it too. So I will copy that prompt and you will get all these prompts. You are a query router orchestrator. Your job is to analyze incoming user query and route them to appropriate research-based or user-based research. There is one homework for you. You should handle anything that is not user or market research. But right now, let's go with this. And it has a lot of things. It has examples and all. But that's pretty much it. Then I can connect this to here and then this to here. Oh, that didn't work. Seems like one agent can connect to one agent only. How should I change it? My problem is I'm not able to connect this to here. Anyone want to help me save my life?
Use the logic if else.
If else logic.
Okay, walk me through whoever said. So let's go if else logic. So I drop this. Now because I can't connect, I need two connectors out, right? One input, two output. So now this problem is solved. So I take this out and then I can click here. Okay, seems something hard. Okay, great. It says something like an output string. Okay,
Do we
cool.
write the name of the agent here?
Can I say output string is equal to what? Uh,
Market.
input output text is equal to user research. Can I say that? If it comes to user research, then route it to user research and else. All of you know how to put logics in agents now? This is nobody has shown this much. I've watched like 20 videos on YouTube. Nobody was showing this. And I was thinking that I can just connect orchestration to user or market research. So I thought at least add you. Let me solve this one problem for you in like first 10 minutes. Okay, so now you know how to add logics. Can we run this? Do you remember I need to change this because this is market research and you will not be able to know the difference. So let's change this. Let's put a user research prompt, add if else user research creator, route this, else route there. You are a user research agent. Great. Can we start now doing two kind of things? Now we can do
This is
market research
query
or user.
routing orchestrator.
Let's go with user research then. Do user research in commercial real estate for lease management use case. And hopefully my prompt handle everything. So first thing, it goes to orchestration agent to user research. Awesome. We did it. We created a multi-agent which can take request and route them to the agent we want, which is cool, no? And now we can decide that now we can also ask it to do market research. So let's stop it. And can we test memory? I've not tested it, by the way. So I'm trying to fail it and then debug it. So if I tell it that, hey, for same use case is above, do market research. Will that work? Will this work? How will it know what it need to do?
I
It will
think
do
we
market
kept
research.
that
How will
memory
it
long
know?
There
enough.
is a feedback, like you need a
Market research.
top level memory, right?
Output text is not equal to user research, so then it will go to the else.
Will it do market research on this same thing or not?
No.
No.
The chat history needs to be enabled.
Chat history we enabled, no?
We did enable the chat
We need
history.
a feedback loop of some sort, right? To
Okay, can we run
Yeah.
this and let's see? We have some guesses. For same use, even I didn't put use case. Okay, at least our thing worked. It went to market research, so orchestration is working. But let's see what research it is doing. Conducting market research. The user question about market research seems a bit ambiguous. I won't ask for classing, but assume they want to conduct market research on market research tools. What happened here? It's doing market research on market research tools now.
Yeah, it didn't remember the real estate
It
piece.
needs a feedback loop to the orchestration agent.
It needs a feedback loop to the orchestration agent. This agent has its memory, but the memory dies as soon as you stop the flow, right?
yeah, the top level.
And this agent has its own memory. This agent has its own
Right.
memory. But right now, this agent is telling it to do something, but this agent is not telling it to find the right memory, like what the input is. So overall, your app does not have a common memory element
Yeah.
where everything
Shared.
is fed. We don't have a shared memory element. So we need to give some variables and store them. So there's a limitation in this that by default there is a no easy way to add a memory element. Although they are defooling you by saying that, hey, we give you this include chat history. The chat history is confined to this component. To this component, when you take it to multi-agent, we don't get a memory. And by the way, they did not provided a tool or something which is memory, which N8N gives you. And then once you have a memory, you can connect all the components to that memory. We don't have that here. So just be aware of that limitation as you build these flows. Can we move forward? Now we have an agent which can actually do, we will not ask or try to break it with stupid queries like I just did by saying, go remember, we'll just keep explaining everything and it will continue to work. At least you know it, right? So you know that there is a one limitation and now you can write a blog on limitations. Hopefully by end of this call, you will not be as mesmerized as I am with the tool. You will know its limitations also. One limitation is it can't do. Also, I didn't like this whole idea of if else. I should be able to connect this here and this here, right? Hold this idea. They should be able to, the framework should be able to figure that out for me. Isn't that a good user experience? Because right now the user need to put this logic and somehow intuitively figure out that this needs to be user research and all that.
It seems redundant. I mean, that's the whole point of the orchestration agent.
Correct. And we never seen it, right? With other agents, like when we build, I think I want to take you to tools. Tools is interesting. So, okay, you did market research, you did user research. Now, maybe you want, sometimes you will say that this is not great. You're a skeptical product manager. You think AI can't do anything. What would you like to do next with this agent? Let's say we don't do PRD today.
Mahesh, I question here. The set state is there. So can you use this? I think it will use the memory.
We can use that, and you should do that as a homework. But we will use set state, but not for memory, but something else. Maybe the next idea is you want to take a feedback, right? Because let's say I launch this and I don't even know that it's doing great research or it's doing bad research. Because I think it's great. I tried it, it worked, but you want to give it to users and you want to take feedback. So if you want to take feedback, you need to connect these two disparate ones into something same. So what you do is you can take this set state, which is basically you can store anything output of one thing as an input of another thing. I can assign these values, these variables, I can say select to a variable. So I can go in and I can set my variables. And let's call this idea as add set variable, and let's assign a value to it. Let's say research data. We don't care if it is user research or assign. I think we can just do variable, add variable, string, and let's call it research. Let's call it assign value X, output text as add variable. So the output of these files will get into this variable. And then what we can do is we can take a user approval. So we can also took and ask the user that, hey, approve this or not approve it. And if the user approves it, then we can put another agent whose primary job is to save this file, correct? And then if it rejected, right now I will end, but you can also put another agent which saves it as a rejected file. So end of this, you will have feedbacks in your agent that will show you that how many users were, how helpful it was actually, and how many user research or market research are getting rejected. And your goal is to keep this 80%. Let's say that's your goal in your product. I will just put reject to an end, but then you will able to, like in the telemetry, you will be able to see how many just got rejected, and you will see how many able to pass. So far with me? Why can't I just connect the whole agent to this guy, and why I have to set this? Why can't I just go?
But there's no the user approval. That component does not. Trying to think. Is there a processing? Is there any processing happening there?
Is that helpful? Is that helpful to make sure we're only capturing in data or information that the user wants approved of, and then use that base
So the
additional
goal is like to
data?
store that information, right? Whatever that
Right.
user research was, because if they approved it or if they reject it, you want to review it, right? And if you want to do that, if you do this, there is no variable that you can store this information. Here is a message context, but there is nothing that you can store it. So you want to have a state variable, like we were looking for memory earlier. And that state allows me to go and store things, right? If I don't do that, then this state is basically storing this research data, whatever the output is, into this variable. And now I will have this variable, I can use it in this agent. If I don't keep it, then I will not have anything to pass to this agent to store what was the market or user research results.
You can't declare a variable in the user approval directly.
No, that's the challenge, right? They don't give you that. You can take the add context and pass the context from here. Like in this, you can pass what was the output of this here, but then it will be lost to the next component. That's how they designed it. How set state is important in building these things. This is a way to pass on things to the next things.
So does this mean that, like, as you are expanding your flows, then at every step you have to
Every
save the
time you want to
output,
store anything,
save the output to a state variable, and then pass it on to the next stage?
So if that state is changing, and if you want to keep different state things, then yes. Because if you go from one state to another, and if you don't store the outputs, those are gone. But if the same state, like I need not, once I have state, this variable has this output, and I can use it here without, again, storing it here. I think you got the idea.
Yeah, just quick. So this is different than memory, right? This is memory is separate and this is separate.
Yes. Memory means if you look at it, you can actually have a state variable called memory and keep storing that each step and adding to it, but that would be like a hack and may not work, right? But that's the one way to hack this, to also add memory. We could have solved the earlier problem on a very small flow. Okay, now let me show you the last thing, and then I promise we can just go on with life as usual. So now what I want to do is, if it is approved, I want to store it in a file so that I can review all my good things and the bad things also, hopefully, which we can do here also, by the way, but let's do it here first. Okay, so this agent, what I want it to do is store agent. I want to name it as store feedback agent. And its role is in the world is that, hey, I wanted to go and do something by storing the information. To do that, I need a tool. What are the tools? Anyone? What are tools to agents?
Functions.
Functions. Tools allow you to do what?
Change the state of the world.
Yay, that's my students. Tools allow you to change the state of the world. The state of the world right now is that I have file and I can use that file. And the state of the world is that I want to change the state of the world that on my drive, I want to save a file. Right now, there's no files, but whenever this agent runs, I want to store that research onto my drive. For that, what they have done is they have given you MCP servers which take actions. They also have functions. This is a lab we did in Airflow where we use CRM. This is where you can send the open API spec. I won't touch on this today, but if you did our cohort, you know what I mean. So you can try that. But today we will do the easy things called MCP servers. So what they have done is they have configured some of the MCP server out of the box for you. These are the integration they have provided. And I want to save it to Google Drive. So I can take it and save it. Okay, as you see, the capabilities it is telling me is not a save capability. Correct? There's no way to save this file, correct? So I can't use this. That's where they have limited capabilities in OpenAI connectors. That's why they added third-party connectors. Connectors like Zapier, Box, Square, DeepWiki, Shopify, and others. And I will use Zapier because the Zapier connector allows me to do that. It has Gmail, it has Notion, and 8,000 other apps. So Zapier solved the world problem of getting to connectors, and now OpenAI is calling Zapier to solve all their problems too. So how it works, you just click Get API in Zapier. I connected this tool already, but if you have to connect, you just say Add Tool. Here you select Create a File, Create File from Text, Create Folder. You can select Create Folder first, but there is a option called Upload, Create, Move File, Remove File, Replace a File, Create, Add File, Update File, Create File from Text. This one, I already added it, that's why it was grayed out, but you just select that. Once you have that, you can just take the API key of this, where you click Connect and you copy this secret. Everybody with me? There are more steps to it. You can take that. Once you have that, you can get back to your agent builder and put that API key here. You hit connect, it establishes the connection. It gives this all the tools access. It has add tool, edit tool, Google Drive, create file from text. Just make sure you say never require approval for any tool call. Otherwise, your flow will always ask you. It's up to you. I will just do never just to show you, but it's up to you. You can configure it, or you can just say always require approval so that before this tool call, you will get a prompt saying, hey, can I call this tool? Right? I will just say never so that it looks automated. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now I added a tool called Zapier here. What this tool does is configure market research. Got that. Set. Maybe I can just type it. Add set variable. We got the variable. Add user approval component. Configure Zapier. Create file. Configure instruction, create a single file name this, create a single file name doc approved using the content from state.agent output. What should this be? Can I change this? You need to change it. This is the instruction in the GitHub repo you will get. And this is red. You can add context. So this is the idea of taking something from the previous block into your block. This is the last idea I'm going to land. So what is the idea? That, hey, this is when we created it, we called it agent output. That's why it's red. It's not going to work. So you need to replace it with something else that you have in your logic. What you have in your logic is, if I just add context, you see I can take research data. Where I got this research data? Anyone? What is this research data? Is in state.
Set state.
Set state. Great. So this is how you take context. Now you can pass this context to your next agents because it's always there because you stored it. So now you're passing it and you're saying, hey, agent, what you need to do is you need to create a file using the context from whatever the output of the market research was, right? And then you can say generated by the previous agent, then upload this file to Google Drive using tools. You can just also say using tools provided. Once the upload is successful, retrieve the direct shareable link that allow user to open and download the file. After upload display widget, we will do next time because we are running short on time. So we'll just do this much. Sounds good? Everybody same page? Great. That's it. We are ready with our flow. The flow is ready. We have and here. We can end this also. So net, you started, you created a user research agent, then you created a market research agent, then you did not know how to create them, connect them. So you created an orchestration agent, then you created logic, then you created some state so that you can save it. And based on the user approval, you connected a tool called Zapier to save this in your storage and give you a link so that you can also view it for demos. Good. You have your first agent, which can do user and market research. Let's put it to action. And if it doesn't work, you should be able to debug it. I will publish it and you debug it and not me. What user research anybody wants to do? And hopefully we will get eventually a file in the end that we can open and do something with it. If it will fail, there are a couple of things you will see, but hopefully the orchestration will get into user research to market research. That's great. And because it realized that it's market research and not a user research based on the query. So you see that how the intelligence is that I said user research, but it is going to and doing market research. And then does the market research has, we gave it the tool of web search or no? Assumption, this. I think it will be lost. You know why? Anybody? Can I fix it? You see that that's not going good, right? It should be doing some research on using internet. So why it's not working? I generally, if you need to do this research, you will go to internet and search like best agentic AI courses, but it's doing something else like short-term market size and all that.
It went
Is my
deep
prompt
into
bad?
Doesn't
market
have any
research.
searching tool.
Yeah, the web search function, you need to add that somewhere.
Okay, at least we can approve or reject. Can we reject this one? As
Yeah.
you saw, right? That's why I told you it's hard to do PM work, right? So can I reject it? And what should happen when I reject it? It should go to end. Life is good. Okay, we are happy. But we want to get to this agent. We just made this agent. So how can we test it? So what you will change? Let's change something.
Add a web search tool.
So now, because you know tools, you can add an easy tool. I showed you how to add the hard tools. So I will just add web search. And web search takes you to more things like, hey, do you want to restrict to only these sites? Which is cool, by the way, so that you can make sure that it is not searching something else, but you can provide that. It says these are optional, but we'll say United States of USA. I didn't have to do state. You see that they're narrowing the focus too. So I liked it, to be honest. We never thought it when we build it, but I think they have better team than me. So they did it. I like this feature, to be honest. Okay, can I add the same tool here? So I go to tools, I can add web search. So today you added two tools, web search and this, and you can just hit add. And now we are good. Can we run the preview again? And can we say, do market research on agentic AI courses, agentic AI courses for PMs. Okay, orchestration, market research, great. Planning, I need to conduct a thorough market research without following up. It seems like web run, the way to go since information could be changed recently. I run searches to get the latest data on modern entities and gather insight. Additionally, I should make more provide. Crafting market research, TAM, SAM. I think I did it for only product. So it's just the prompt. So you need to change the prompt. So this is the second thing you are seeing, that it's very hard to build a generic market research tool for anything. Because if you make the prompt for product specific ideas, then it can't do normal search specific research. So now you need to have another orchestration layer which says, hey, these are the 5 type of market research that user can ask for, and these are different kind of prompts, right? Market state, market early, key competitors are Coursera, Pragmatic Institute, private courses, bootcamp, Maven masterclass. Okay, not that bad, at least going in right direction. I don't know why it went to AWS. PM specific content, role market trends, kinda okay, but I think I will conclude it here. You see that the challenges, it's not going in that. Maybe we just ask it Maven, but let's approve it. Let's see what happens. If I approve it, then it goes to our feedback agent, store feedback agent, and it's storing. And I got an error. Retrieving tool MCP server Zapier HTTP says photo field dependency code user error. So that's how simply publishing works. We'll talk about publishing. Now you have a work ID that you can pass, and you can also use it in your code. And that I will show you. Maybe we need to do third session on this. This way I will show you where you can connect a front end to this back end and start working on it. But that's pretty much I wanted to show. If you wanted to see the working one, I do have a working one also. So you can just see workflows, Mahesh Rapier. So this is personal default project. These are my draft ones. And this flow, if you just ask it, same flow, everything same. If you run it, it works. Your job is to find out why the one that we built doesn't work. So here, if you say, hey, do a research on CRE, do a research on AI opportunities in CRE, commercial real estate, you can see it working. Okay. This one works. The one that we built doesn't work. So it goes and it does market research. It sets the state. It goes, does everything it needs to do, and then it will store it in Zapier in a 2 seconds. You will see that happen. But I can take some questions, and we will see you next time. Next time I see you, we will do evaluations. We will check how to create these graders they have. We will see what kind of guardrails you have, and how can you implement and make this secure. And we will show you about publishing. How can you publish your flows so that your front end, you can create an application. We can also talk about widgets, which is a way to give fancy outputs. So now it's asking me for user approval. I can just go ahead and approve it. Okay, if I approve it, the agent goes in and the agent does work. It goes to my drive and it will take what we did and will store it and give you a link. So what next? We will be doing another session, which is cracking the AI PM interview. We'll continue this session, part 2. So if you like this session, please join. By the way, we are starting our cohort on 27th. If there is any reason that is holding you back, happy to give or have a discussion with all of you. We're also thinking of just giving you a free first class. So Karan will reach out to all of you. If you're interested, please join us. I think this is the last opportunity this year to get into agentic AI. Bye, take care. I will see you next week, Friday.
Thank you very
team.
much.
Please take and do.
Thanks, Mahesh.
Thanks,
Bye,
Mahesh.
bye, bye, team. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.